guys, it's Anne here, and thanks for joining me in today's video. Today we're going to talk a little bit about blush placement. Now, I will admit that there was many years that I didn't wear blush at all because I felt like it made me look like a clown. I also have memories of my mom taking one of those big blush sticks and globbing it on my face, and I had these big circles on my cheeks. And I just didn't like the way blush looked. But I think part of blush is it does help make you look less dead, particularly if you have put foundation on and you don't have any other makeup on at all on your face. You have no definition in your face. You can definitely look too flat. And blush just adds a little bit of life. Now, I also don't use a lot of blush because I already have a lot of redness in my cheeks. So if I'm using a typical foundation that I normally use, which is pretty light, you still get some of that redness through. So I don't feel like I need to use a lot of blush because I don't want to make my face too red. So in my opinion, there is two major areas where blush can be placed. You have sort of the main cheek areas, or if you're looking at your face from the front, around here, and then you also have sort of the side of your face and this sort of area around here. Now, in each of those areas, you do have some wiggle room. In the front of your face, you can definitely sort of focus a little higher up, or right in the center, or if I smile, you can focus a little on that lower part, and you'll get a different effect. And from the side of your face, you can argue that there's sort of three areas, like high, middle, and low. I'm going to try and demonstrate just sort of like a higher placement versus a lower placement because I think it's going to be a little too difficult to show three different placements. Now, I'm really hoping this works and this isn't like a Wayne Goss fail video, which, I do find informative and useful. He has ideas and you think you're going to be able to demonstrate something, and then when you do demonstrate it, it doesn't work out at all like you think it is going to work. So I'm hoping that this will demonstrate how different placement of blush will make your face look a little bit different. Excuse me. I also have very round, larger cheeks. I have lost weight since I was a teenager. See if I can find a picture, but I didn't realize how big and chubby my cheeks were when I was younger, and a few people used to call me chipmunk cheeks, and now I see why. Anyway, so I'm going to keep this pretty simple, and I'm going to use the CoverGirl Cheekers blush in Classic Pink. Yeah, we're going to focus on that. And I want to use sort of a brighter pink blush so you can actually see, hopefully, the difference. And then I'm just going to use this brush. It was from, I think, Forever 21. I bought it because it had these cute little cats on it. But I picked this brush because it's a bit smaller, so it's easier to sort of control where I'm putting it on. It's also not super fluffy. It's a little, I'd say it's medium density, so I'm going to be able to pick up a little bit more product. So if you want to see some different placements of blush and how it affects the shape of your face, keep watching and we'll do some demos. So for the first placement, I'm going to go kind of right in the center of my cheeks, kind of the classic where you think blush should go placement. And it helps to smile, by the way, which you feel like a dink, but it works. I'm just going to blend it out so it doesn't look too, dotted on, if that makes sense. And I should mention that I don't have any other face products on other than foundation. So I don't have highlight, I don't have contour. All I have is this Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in 03 Light Beige. I'm finally tan enough that the shade is working for me. So there we go. So there's the sort of classic on top of the cheeks placement. Again, this pink is a little intense. I normally wouldn't do something this intense. I would blend it out even more, but I do a lighter application. But I really want to show where this placement looks like. It definitely gives you a bit more of a youthful look, more of that flushed, you've been running outside kind of look. And that's why if you put it there, you're going to have more of a sort of fresh, youthful look. Okay, for the second placement, I'm gonna go still on the front of the cheeks, but a little bit lower. So sort of where the roundness is when you smile. Right around sort of there, sort of blend up the way. Again, same blush, same brush. I'm applying way more than I normally would, but I'm hoping that this will show up more on camera then. I like to kind of, when I use the regular brush I use has a very sort of tapered end, so I kind of like to pinch it a little and give it a bit of a U shape, really to just follow that shape of my face around and then blend it up. It's hard to get it even. Hopefully they look fairly even. So you'll see that this sort of emphasizes the roundness of my cheeks when I talk, and this gives you that sort of plumper, fuller look. I think this is a good placement if you are a bit older, particularly if you're feeling like your cheeks are sinking in a little bit, because that's kind of what happens as you get older. You lose a little bit of that plumpness. Also, if you have very defined cheeks, you can, I think they call this draping, but you can sort of go with a bit of a darker color here and then go a little bit lighter up here. And it's going to give you a more dramatic effect in terms of that roundness in your face. So there's that one. Okay, so now we're going to play with some blush placement sort of along the sides of our face. I'm going to start with a sort of higher up placement, just sort of like if your highlight was here, your blush would be like right about here-ish. Now this is reminiscent of the 80s, you know, that like streak of blush. I'm going to try and not do that and make it a little bit better, but I think that's why I avoid doing blush normally in this position, or this placement, just because I think it reminds me too much of the 80s. When it's pretty high up like this. And now there's no wrong way to do makeup. So don't let anybody tell you anything in terms of that's not right, you should do this and you should do that. Makeup is intended to be fun and to be played with, and you do you. You do what you want to do. And if you're not sure of where you want to put your blush, then just play with it. You know, one Thursday night, Friday night, you're sitting at home having a glass of wine, pull out some blushes and play with them. It does help. Now, I am noticing having a camera is helping, so just take your cell phone and take some selfies, and see what looks good on you or what you feel like. And again, what you do one day may be different than what you do another day. I mean, I don't do the same thing every day. Try to blend that in and make sure it's even. So there's a bit of a higher up blush placement. Again, I'm trying to not make it look too 80s, too stripey. I try to blend it in a little bit better. So again, that is just a different placement and different shape. It will play differently too once you have, if you use it like contour, bronzer, or highlighter. So again, just wearing blush on its own is going to give you a different look compared to when you wear it with other products. Okay, now on to the last placement area, and I'm going to try and focus sort of like in the center lower half on the side of my cheeks. I feel like this is sort of the most popular YouTube placement as of right now, at least. I think particularly if you're using a peach or neutral blush, this lends itself well to blending into bronzer and contour. So I think that's one of the reasons why this seems to be sort of the popular placement method. And again, it helps, or at least, again, depending on the shade you're wearing and how you're blending it in, I think it does add some definition, not just color, to your face. So also too, if you want to get more precise in terms of where the blush is going and then blending it after, when you dip into your brush, tap off a little bit, pinch your brush. If you pinch it a little bit, so if you pinch it a little bit, you're going to get the product where you want it, and then you can let go and sort of blend it. I'm not doing that right now, but I did do that when I did the earlier blush placement around here. Also have a nice little undergrounder right there. That's great. So again, this blush is really, really bright, and I'm applying a lot more than I normally would in my personal preference. So again, if I had bronzer, I would probably have the bronzer sort of end around here a little bit, and the blush and the bronzer would blend together nicely. So there's the fourth placement of blush. And again, this isn't a natural area of blush, at least if you think about when your face gets flushed. It doesn't really usually get flushed around here, but again, this placement is flattering to the face, I think, and like I said, lends itself well to blending into bronzer and contour nicely. And again, I mean, you could put blush all over if you really wanted to. You can do whatever you want. And one of the comments I said earlier too is you could even try putting like a darker blush here and a lighter blush here, and you're going to get a bit of a contour along your face. So I hope you found this useful and informative. If you did like it, feel free to give a little thumbs up down below, and I'd hope for you to join me in future videos, so please subscribe. Hope to see you again sometime soon. Bye.